We got a big show on tap today as we'll start off recapping the weekend and then we'll get in some bets on some Monday action. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Jason Mattis, as always. Thanks for joining me on this episode here of Winning Bets, the Monday edition here of our show where we give out daily free sports picks every day. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. It was a fantastic weekend here. Obviously, the NFL playoffs were the talk of the show, and it was just really good action throughout the course of the entire weekend. How cool was that? We got 6 games overall in the weekend. It all started off with that Bills game. Boy, what a sweat that was for my team. Just a really good game overall. You know, the Bills in general, struggled, to handle that rushing attack there of the Colts. Otherwise, I think it was a pretty good game. Both teams, had their opportunities, and, thankfully, obviously, the Bills came out on top. It looked like maybe for a while there they were going to pull away, there a little bit there in that second half. But, to the Colts' credit, they hung with it. That was just a good, fantastic game. Enjoyed jumping on YouTube Live with you guys during halftime. Thanks for joining and hanging out with me, throwing in some good comments. That was like the quickest 11 minutes I'd ever seen. So that was a really good game to start off the playoffs. And then the Rams, obviously they beat the Seahawks, called that. Absolutely knew that was going to win, called that victory on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Just the Rams' defense is too good. The only thing that surprised me in that game was the Rams' ability to put up 30 points. Otherwise, nothing at all surprised me in that game. I absolutely knew the Rams were going to win that game, so that was a good one. And then the game of the weekend was probably, I would say, Saturday night, that Bucs-Washington game. That was just absolutely fantastic. Anytime it looked like, the Buccaneers are going to pull ahead, then Washington would make some plays and get right back in it. Obviously led there with third or fourth string quarterback there? I think it was probably the fourth string quarterback in Heineke. Just a really good, solid job by him, throwing the ball, running the ball when he needed to. How about that touchdown where a man died from the 4-yard line, looking like Superman, looking like Michael Vick back in the day. Just a good performance. It's unfortunate, they couldn't tie it there late in that game. I think everybody at that point, unless you're a Bucs fan, was pulling for Washington just with what that kid was able to do. So just a good, good, fantastic game by them. Hopefully they'll lock that kid up to a contract. He at least deserves, an opportunity to come into camp next year and, compete for that starting job. So good job there by Washington. Good game overall. And then on Sunday's game, the Ravens-Titans, they started the action off for us on Sunday. I would say that was another good game. Titans jumped out to that 10-0 lead. Ravens clawed back into it, obviously with that Lamar Jackson 48-yard touchdown run. And then the Ravens seemed to generally be in control most of the way. The Titans couldn't quite get it done. Passing attack wasn't hitting. I know they were banged up there at the receiver position, and then Derrick Henry just never got running. So that was a good game. That game scared me. Now we obviously know that my Bills are going to go up against the Ravens, and I'm scared. That rushing attack is lethal. It's the one thing that the Bills generally don't do, well, is stop the run. So I'm already nervous and I'm already having nightmares thinking about how we're going to stop that rushing attack. But, good job by the Ravens. Good game there. The other game there, Bears-Saints, that was another good game. Defense was obviously the talk of the show there in that game until the Saints offense was able to pull away. It was definitely a struggle there most of that game. That Bears defense we know is good, but I told you guys that Saints defense was even better. I mean, I know the Bears offense isn't all that great. They obviously didn't have Darnell Mooney, so that obviously helped or hurt their chances because they were able to really, clamp down on Allen Robinson, but that Saints defense is definitely good. And like I said, the offense did just enough late in the game to pull it away and make it a nice, comfortable win for them. But that was a good game. And then Sunday night, to cap it off, we had the Browns and the Steelers. Wacky start. Certainly a crazy start there at the high snap and, definitely gifting the Browns a touchdown. Then the Browns, capitalize on some turnovers, interceptions, and get some points, jump out to a quick 28-0 lead. I mean, give the Steelers credit. You always know in the NFL, right? That's why I hate when you jump on social media and, let's say the game's 28-0 and people are saying, oh, it's game over. Yeah, I mean, it generally did feel like it was game over. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. But in the NFL, or really in any sport, each team's going to get a momentum. Each team's going to get a crack of that apple and have a, good spell in that game where they're going to be able to impose their will and, get points and stop points. And that's what the Steelers did. I definitely agree with Collinsworth during that game when he mentioned, 4th and 1 there, that the Steelers were down by 12, I think it was at that point, and they elected to go ahead and punt. I know why Tom, I think, that was early fourth. I get why he punted it because the defense was playing really well. It was 2 possessions. They were obviously right in that game early fourth quarter, but I agree with Collinsworth there. I would have gone for it on 4th and 1. You had all the momentum. Browns were back on their heels, struggling, couldn't get a stop, couldn't do anything on offense. I thought that was another, just good opportunity to, go for it, get that first down, and really just, because if you get a touchdown there and now you're a one possession game, I think it could have. I think maybe the outcome of that game could have been a lot different. But he obviously elected to punt. I definitely thought that was the wrong decision. But overall, just a really good good solid weekend. Look forward to the divisional round. What do you guys got going on? Drop a comment here in this video. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Who's going to be in the AFC and NFC conference champions game. So if you've already got a strong feeling on any of these matchups, go ahead and drop a comment there. I'd like to see what you guys think will be happening in the division round. All right, let's jump over to it now. Let's jump on into the recap of our weekend as we always do. You guys know on Friday's show, I didn't give you any bets on Friday. All of our action was on Saturday and Sunday. So with that being said, let's just jump on into it and see how we shook out. The NFL was a little rough to us. We were flying high going into this weekend on the NFL, crushing it the last 5 or 6 weeks. But, tough day in the NFL. Went 2-6-1. And it was down 4.1 units overall in the NFL. The push was obviously Ronald Jones. He never played. Obviously, a lot of the losses came in that Bills game. Bills didn't cover the spread. Josh Allen didn't have 3 touchdowns. He only got 2 passing touchdowns. Stephon Diggs didn't get 8 receptions. He only had 6 receptions. So we obviously got a couple of them to pit, though. We did get the Allen and Diggs, go over their total, so that was good. And then swung and missed there on that night game, though. Obviously, we were always going to do the first drive was going to be in a punt. Wanted Washington to get the ball first, especially once it was announced Alex Smith wasn't going to play. Unfortunately, Brady got the ball first and, marched him down the field. And then almost typical, I would have thrown a whole paycheck on it if it would have been what would have been the result of the next Bucs drive. I would have bet that was going to be a punt, and that's exactly what it was. But, I'm not going to be mad at that. Hit that bet 7 out of 8 weeks, so, not mad at that. Love that trend, and we all cashed a lot on that. Tom Brady obviously went over 294 yards. And then missed our teaser. The over went over in that game there with the teaser there. So just a tough day in the NFL. But thankfully we did get C.J. McCollum in the nighttime. So we keep riding that C.J. McCollum train. He has been absolutely on fire to us. So he limited the damage a little bit. It was still a negative today. Being down 2.78 units. But thankfully McCollum saved us there a little bit there in the nightcap. So bounced right back though on Sunday. Sunday got tripped up there by some early action. But then went a nice 3-0 sweep in that Jazz Pistons game. Doug did my research. It said that the Jazz had a huge rebounding advantage over the Pistons. So I tripled down, not double down, tripled down and took 3 Jazz players and took over on their rebounding totals, and they all cashed. Rudy Gobert was kind of way over it. O'Neal just went over it, and Bogdanovich went over it by a little bit as well. So just love that angle. Did the research, and like I said, they just had a good advantage, not just a good advantage on the rebounds. Like they had a good, really good, significant rebounding. So again, just really doubled down on that. So overall, though, we're now doing really good on NBA props on the season. 10-5 overall, plus 5.22 units. Had a good, solid week this past week, going 9-4 and up 4.78 units. So ready to just hit the NBA prop market again today. And really going forward I really think started off really strong. I just think I'm just going to keep getting stronger with these NBA props, as I get more data to just analyze. So I'm really looking forward to that overall. Overall, though, it was another profitable week here in 2021. Went 14-17 and plus 1.18 units. You guys can see there in the outbreak. Obviously, what saved us was the NBA prop market. Now soccer, was a little bit of a trip up. Super 6 parlay. I'm going to keep doing those every single week and, occasionally lose 0.2 units, but eventually we'll get one of those that hits. College basketball, I used that 100% profit boost. Only made one play there and missed it. And then the NFL obviously was really rough. But so far in 2021, we're having good, solid start to the season. Won money in the first week, won a little under 1.5 units. And then obviously this past week again, coming in at 1.18 units. Right there. So overall in 2021, we're up 2.66 units. So just doing really, really good there. I had the totals here. Let me go ahead and pull it up. So you guys just said there I won 2.66 units. So if we break out the how we're doing across the three sports books, as we started off, if you guys recall, $500 in each of these sports books to start the year. Overall, right now in DraftKings, we're at $475, so a little bit down a unit or so. FanDuel, we're up just under $600. We're at $598, so we're doing really well there. And then at PointsBet, we're at $467. So if you add all that up, that's $1,540. And based on our unit sizes being $15, that's about 2.6 units. And that's exactly what that math that shows what I tweeted out. We're up on the year, 2.66 units. So we'll obviously, look to continue building it. It feels good to, just come out of the gate really swinging here in 2020. Yeah, not a huge amount of profit, but it'll come. It'll come. We're not going to, be hovering around this. We'll have a real good, solid week here, and we'll hopefully look to start that off this week and, tonight with these bets. I got a handful of bets for you. I got 4 NBA props bet for you. Then I had to get in a bet here on the college football game. I went ahead and took the under. I went ahead and under 75.5 at minus 110 at PointsBet. You guys know I don't watch college football. Tail that bet at your own risk. Not a whole ton of research into it. I did make the bet or the video over at Fox Bet Super 6 for a chance to win $1,000. So it is justified a little bit, but at the end of the day, not a huge college football guy, obviously in terms of watching it, you guys know. So yeah, I would tail that one at your own risk, but I had to watch it. I had to bet it. I'm probably going to be watching the game. I've watched the last few national championship games just because, football guys, national championship game, it's a natty, baby. Got to watch a natty, right? Anytime somebody can win a trophy. So probably end up watching it tonight. So I figured as long as I'm going to be watching it, might as well give myself a good old sweat there. So put a little wager there on the under of that game at 75.5 over at PointsBet. Some good bets that I feel really good about, though, are the NBA prop market. Going to go ahead and hit them. I've got four of those tonight. Let's go ahead and start off first with the Bucks and the Magic. I'm going to go ahead and look at Chris Middleton here to start off. Chris Middleton, he scored 21 plus in 7 of his 10 games so far this season. And he's averaging 22.8 points per game this season. He shoots 55.6% field goal percentage. And from the three-pointers, he's shooting 50.9 from the arc. Orlando, they rank 24th in field goal percentage allowed, and over their last 3 games, that's even dropped to 26. So, a hot shooter, scores a lot, is hitting over this mark a lot this season. So I really like this prop here. It's Chris Middleton over 20.5 points, and that's minus 114 over at FanDuel. We'll look for Chris Middleton to get our week started. All right, the next one we're going to do here is Suns and the Wizards. Look, the Suns are 9th in three-point field goal percentage made and with 38.2. That's really good, and it's come up over the last 3 games. It's up to 40.6. The Suns are first in three-pointers attempts attempted, in their last 3, and they're 6th overall. So a team that shoots the ball from the 3 really well, and obviously they're attempting, the most in the league over the last 3 games. The Wizards on defensively, to kind of go with that, on how well the Suns shoot it from 3. The Wizards coming at 29th. A 3-point field goal percentage allowed, and over their last 3, they're dead last at 30th. So they're not getting it done defending it from behind the arc. And then even from field goal percentage as a whole, it's 29th and 30th again in their last 3. So they're just not good defensively in terms of field goal percentage. So I like Michael Bridges here. He's shooting 30 or 50% from 3-point field goal range on the season. He's had 3+ in 6 of his 10 games. He averages 2.8 made per game. And besides 2 attempts against Pelicans, he's at least attempted 4+ in every game with an average of 6. So I like Michael Bridges over 2.5 3-point field goals made, and that's plus 146 over at FanDuel. Absolutely love that value at plus 146 over at FanDuel. Next one we got here is Raptors versus Trail, and I looked up his name. It's when I did the pronouncing, one thing said it was Mikel, one thing it was Michael. So hopefully I didn't butcher that guy's name. All right, so the next one here is we're going to look at Raptors versus the Trailblazers. Trailblazers. Is that already enough said? You guys already know what this bet is? Trailblazers. We've been riding the C.J. McCollum train. We ain't getting off that sucker anytime soon. It's just a matter of, are we going to take his points total? Or are we going to take his 3 points total? And those are the two, we've kind of been flip-flopping back on. Well, here you go. These teams are number 5 and number 11 on possessions per game. In the last 3, the Raptors are allowing 48.2 field goal percentage, which ranks 23rd. And the Raptors are allowing 40.8 three-point field goal percentage made, which is 26. So not getting it done defensively there for the Raptors. CJ McCollum, we know he's really good. I'll give you his stats. We know them already, though. He's 47.1% field goal percentage made, 44.4 three-point percentage made. He averages 27.8 points per game for this one. We're going back to his points total. It's C.J. McCollum over 24.5 points in this game, and you can find that at -107 over at DraftKings. Then the last one I got for you here is we're going to look at this Pacers versus the Kings game. Look, in the last three games, these teams ranked 6th and 9th in possessions per game. The Kings allow 51.4 field goal percentage, which is 28th in the league, and they also allow 42.5 three-point field goal percentage made, which is 27th. And in the last, and it's 26th, and they're 26th in three-point field goals allowed, attempts allowed per game. So, obviously letting teams shoot at really high percentage, and then teams aren't scared. They're just shooting it like crazy from beyond the arc. So we're going to look at Malcolm Bridges on this one. He shoots 47.5 three-point field goal percentage made. He takes 6.6 per game and makes 3.1, and he's had 3+ in 4 straight games, and he's hit 6 in 6 of his 9 games. He's had 3+. So I'm going to go Malcolm Bridges. Malcolm Brogdon over 2.5 three-point field goals made, and that's +136 over at FanDuel. I'm eyeing one more game. The Mavericks, they have an advantage of three-point field goal percentage, both how they shoot it and how their opponent defends it. So I'm looking at the Mavericks. Maybe I add one more, so look for me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod. Just the sportsbooks haven't populated any prop bets for that Mavs game, so may look to add one more and give us 5 total NBA props. Just look for me there on Twitter. Otherwise, we'll roll with that. Go ahead and roll with that college football under. We'll roll out these 4 NBA prop bets. Go ahead and like this video if you're going to go ahead and tail me on it, or go ahead and like this video if you made any profit with me last week. If you're part of any of that profit, go ahead and like this video and let me know you're going to be riding on these NBA props. We're hot in the NBA prop market. It looks to stay hot again, and I'll just look to crush it. I can't really look forward to these games. I love these NBA prop bets, and I can't wait to cash these. I can't wait for you guys to cash them with me. Otherwise, guys, enjoy the college football game tonight. Enjoy whatever you're going to end up doing. We'll come back on tomorrow's show. We'll recap these bets, and we'll get in some bets on Tuesday's action. All right, have a good one. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.